Hey y'all, gonna do this right fast. Now, anybody that has watched me for any amount of time, know that I've referenced Fyodor Dostoevsky and the novels that he's wrote from time to time. The Brothers Karamazov being my favorite one from him, and within the Brothers Karamazov is a story within a story, if you will, because that's where the Grand Inquisitor comes from. Now, part of the connection, well, I mean, you can see it and all through it anyway, but I forgot this part. The bad guy in the X-Files, well, he's a member of this hidden hand cabal, if you will, and everyone calls him the Smoking Man. Now, if he has a real name, is probably just an escape me there during the show, but everyone calls him the Smoking Man. Even A.D. Skinner and all them guys, they even refer to him as the Smoking Man. But the Smoking Man favors Dostoevsky's novels, and especially the Grand Inquisitor. I forgot about that. That's part of his character, and everybody knows, so do I. That's actually out of the Dostoevsky's novels. The Brothers Karamazov is my favorite, and was it Alexei, Dmitri, Ivan, and Alyosha, and Smerdyakov. But I think Smerdyakov is like the bastard child, or supposed to have been like just a son that was had from outside of his normal relationship. But anyway, he was smashing Fyodor Karamazov was smashing anyway, so he was knocking him down. But anyway, the Grand Inquisitor is like a book. It's like it's a chapter, but it's pretty much a book inside of a book, because it's enough to make a separate book out of, which a lot of people have extracted it from there and made it a separate book. I have both. And I think it's how it started. I think Ivan was talking to Alyosha, or Alyosha was talking to, I know it's Ivan and Alyosha. Those were the two that were conversing when he gave him the story of the Grand Inquisitor. Which is pretty much the Spanish Inquisition. Anybody that paid attention in world history in school know about, the Spanish Inquisition. And man, my memory fades. It's a episode of the X-Files, and the title of that episode was Talitha Cumi. I know it's Aramaic, but in some other language, it's not Cumi, it's something else. I have to look it up. Talitha Cumi means little girl, I say to you, get up, which is from the book of Mark, which is in the Bible. I know it's 5th chapter, but I don't remember which verse it is. You'll have to look it up. It's from the Bible. Let me just play the clip, and then we'll go further go from there. Let me pull the clip up. With Chris Carter, fair use, Chris Carter, not Chris Carter, the football player either. The Chris Carter from the Fox series. That's the Smoking Man, obviously, because he's lighting a cigarette. Now, I done my break-in, so I can't be just pinged for copying it.
This becomes a responsibility.
The thing I'm now called upon to put right and put down.
Now, the gentleman you see there with the orange on, his name is Roy Fiennes, and you may recognize his face. He was the first DA in the TV show Law and Order. He was in soap operas. He was in all that stuff, but I know he left Law and Order to go he was a lead character in that TV show Dark Shadows, which was around the same timeline as that Law and Order TV show was. He was the DA. But anyway, with that out of the way, now his crime, if you will, all right, something happened. It was a shooter. It was somebody had some people hostage in this episode of the X-Files. And the dude that took the hostages shot the hostages and killed them. And then the police sniper that was there shot and killed him, shot and killed the hostage taker / killer. This guy here in the orange, I don't know how he got access to him, but he did. But he came and he like touched them and brought them all back to life, including the shooter. He has this healing like power. Now, if y'all know about the story of the Grand Inquisitor, that's what Jesus was doing, healing people. And the Grand Inquisitor, which was actually Torquemades, he didn't like that, and he had Jesus arrested. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole thing here. You know, he got him, what are you doing? You can't be doing that. Well, the people need saving and this, that, and other, and other. Look, you're giving it away. You need the people won't do right on their own. They need to be given a leader, someone to bow down to. We make them toil to make the wheat and create the bread and give us the bread, and we give it back to them in portions. People won't do right without someone over them. That's what I'm just ad-libbing what Torquemades was saying to Jesus while he had him incarcerated. This is the part that a lot of people miss. The whole time that Christ was incarcerated by the Grand Inquisitor before he let him go, he never spoke a word. He never responded verbally to the Grand Inquisitor on any of the questioning that he gave him. Anyway, so in this part here, the man in orange is Jesus and the smoking man is the Grand Inquisitor. And they literally play down, just run it down the line pretty much like it is in the book.
Certainly you expected nothing less.
I'm not ashamed of my actions.
Ashamed? You're not allowed the luxury of human weakness and penitence. You're not allowed to put your indulgences ahead of the greater purpose.
I no longer believe in the greater purpose.
Then your fate is just.
My justice is not for you to mete out. You may have reason. You have no right. You have no means either.
You presume to dictate duty to me? Have you any idea what the cost of your actions is? What their effect might be? Who are you to give them hope?
That's what Torquemades said to Jesus.
What do you give them?
We give them happiness, and they give us authority.
The authority to take away their freedom under the guise of democracy.
Men can never be free, because they're weak, corrupt, worthless, and restless. The people believe in authority. They've grown tired of waiting for miracle and mystery. Science is their religion. No greater explanation exists for them. They must never believe any differently if the project is to go forward.
At what cost to them?
The question's irrelevant, and the outcome inevitable. The date is set.
At what cost to them for your own selfish benefit?
See, and also I left out the part, he's also a shapeshifter. And that's the smoking man's, but that's the leader, his direct leader of the cabal that he's a member of. That's not really him, and he knows it's not really him. He know he has the ability to shapeshift, and that's what he done. But it leaves doubt in the smoking man's mind. Sometime during my interactions with my direct boss, was I actually talking to my direct boss, or was I talking to this shapeshifter? Was I talking to Roy? You know, because the guy, I can't remember his name in the show, but his real name is Roy. His government name is Roy.
How many must die at your hand to preserve your stake in the project?
I'm not impressed by your miracles or moved by your trickery. Your justice will be meted out.
By whom this time, and by what tool?
By those who possess the tool of your destruction.
I'll play it back without talking and without me interrupting, because now you know that little bit there, you should get the gist of what you're looking at. I'll just play it back straight, and then we'll get out of here.
This becomes a responsibility. The thing I'm now called upon to put right and put down. Certainly you expected nothing less.
I'm not ashamed of my actions.
Ashamed? You're not allowed the luxury of human weakness and penitence. You're not allowed to put your indulgences ahead of the greater purpose.
I no longer believe in the greater purpose.
Then your fate is just.
My justice is not for you to mete out. You may have reason. You have no right. You have no means either.
You presume to dictate duty to me? Have you any idea what the cost of your actions is? What their effect might be? Who are you to give them hope?
What do you give them?
We give them happiness, and they give us authority.
The authority to take away their freedom under the guise of democracy.
Men can never be free, because they're weak, corrupt, worthless, and restless. The people believe in authority. They've grown tired of waiting for miracle and mystery. Science is their religion. No greater explanation exists for them. They must never believe any differently if the project is to go forward.
At what cost to them?
The question's irrelevant, and the outcome inevitable. The date is set.
At what cost to them for your own selfish benefit? How many must die at your hand to preserve your stake in the project?
I'm not impressed by your miracles or moved by your trickery. Your justice will be meted out.
By whom this time, and by what tool?
By those who possess the tool of your destruction.
I'm not impressed by your miracles or moved by your trickery. That's pretty much verbatim what Torquemada said to Christ when he had him in his clutches, when he had him incarcerated. But also, I forgot about, I say, I don't remember the chapter and verse in the book of Mark, but I remember that the daughter of, I don't remember the daughter's name, who he said, Talitha Cumi to, but her father's name, if I'm not mistaken, don't beat me to death, I think it's like Janus or Jarius or Janaeus, something like that. Janus, something, not Jeriquavius, okay? No Jeriquavius is in the book of Mark. But I do remember it was the book of Mark. I remember that much. And girl had died, and he came across, found out about her dying, and crossed the Sea of Galilee over there. But he didn't touch her in my version of the Bible. He did the one that I have. Now, I don't have an Aramaic version of the Bible. I don't speak or read Aramaic though either. And this is why I be talking about Bible. When you translate, who alive speaks the original language that it was written in, number one. Number two, anyone that speaks multiple languages knows that some words don't translate. Some phrases don't translate. So you got to kind of chop it to make it work. And that's how things get lost in translation. Now, I learned to speak basic German. I learned to speak basic Korean. And of course, and I think I speak English pretty good. I mean, I'm okay. When people say, "Ooh, say this," and I'm like, and they think you just don't want to play along, quote unquote. But it's hard to explain to them that it don't translate. It don't translate. Like people say, but if I didn't speak German, I wouldn't know that. Basic. And the older I get, being I use it less and less, the more of it I lose. I wish I had a German that lived close to me that I can speak sprechen Sie Deutsch to them on a daily, regular basis so I can keep it up. Damn it. But anyway, just want to share that with y'all because it triggered in my mind, being I put up that in my community tab today, Fyodor Dostoevsky. And I guess once I render this down, I'll put the link in there too, for just in case somebody see that and don't see this and they want to see it, or they see this and didn't see that and want to see it. So I'm trying to cover all my bases. Yeah, but I totally forgot that the smoking man couldn't pick a better man to play that part. He liked literature, and the brothers Karamazov, he's referenced the book a couple of times during the time in the series. I forgot all about that. And as big as an X-Files fan I am, and as big of a fan of Fyodor Dostoevsky as I am, you think I would have put the two together by now. Anyway, y'all be good, be safe. See y'all tomorrow on Sly's live stream. Y'all be good. Bye.